Has the Hoosier basketball team finally dispelled the reality that they're a bad shooting team? We'll talk about it all on this episode. Let's get into it.
Pretty simple. I win.
Upper three on the way.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here, being part of this Indiana Hoosiers community on here. So today, we're going to talk about the perception of shooting. So for the last 8 years, I can't tell you our last good shooter was probably Devontae, and I'm almost going to say Adams, but Hillbilly Monkey, I am tired this morning. So Devontae Green, that was his name. Oh yeah, he was the guy that had a good day here or there where he scored a bunch of points in some of them games. That's right. And so, over the last 8 years, how many guys on the team would you say were real great shooters? We had Miller Kopp. The team is finally, I think, getting rid of that hanging over their head. We're going to talk about it all on this episode, but shooting is so much the perception that you get, and then the confidence that you can build off the perception that you already have. And I think that's a lot that goes into it. We'll discuss it on this episode. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for being here. Share the video if you love this channel. If you love the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team, we're at 1,300 subscribers, and we have a giveaway. The winner of the home field apparel shirt is, and I just have my Alexa pick a random number, and the random number was 2. So Happy Henry Hardcore. Love that name. Love that handle. So Happy Henry Hardcore. Email me at Hillbilly Monkey. Help me with the email address. Email me at indianasportsco@proton.me and collect your prize. Thank you so much for everybody for subscribing to the channel, sharing the videos, and everything like that. I could not do this without all of you out there. And this video is sponsored by BetUS. Use my promo code Indiana125 and save 125% on your first 3 deposits at BetUS. Get some skin in the game with BetUS. This week, I got a 3-way parlay going on Ohio State game for Curtis Rourke to go over 300 yards, for the team to go over the over-under, and for them to cover the spread, which Indiana is an 11-point underdog. So we will see that this weekend on the football stage, and you've done all that good stuff. Without further ado, now It's time to talk about the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, so we just have a light discussion on the basketball team today. They play UNC Greensboro on Thursday. That is a game, they're ranked about 170th in the rankings, so they put together a pretty good squad. I don't think they're a pushover team, a game that you better be ready to play in, or else I think it's a team that could definitely take it to them somewhat. The perception, Jeff Goodman was on something, and I really like his podcast, but he was talking about the Hoosiers, and he's talking about, can Indiana finally shoot? And let's just play that clip first here. Hillbilly Monkey, let's roll that clip.
This one for Indiana.
Well, I know. I'm going to tell you exactly what he's going to say.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
They made threes.
Yeah, they could shoot. Indiana could shoot. They were, I think, 8 for 17 from 3. Miles Rice made some shots. Cannon Carlisle made some shots. We know Renew can make a 3 here or there. Mbako shooting threes. Mike Woodson, you have finally, I think, done it. Now, I want to see it more than a one-off here, but I do think this team collectively is much better than they were a year ago, and they made shots from the line as well. I don't think South Carolina is great, but it's a good win. It's absolutely a good win for this Indiana team because of how they were able to get it.
What? We have 3 cameras up there, and you didn't look in the right camera a single time.
So there you see it. Indiana, they're finally dispelling the overlying, like, I think it's just like a looming cloud on this team, on the entire program over the last few years. It's like, we can't shoot. Last year, it was free throws. It was 3-pointers. It was everything. I mean, in years past, it was like, I mean, I know I always talk about him, but it's like Rob Finney never like turned into a good shooter from the outside. This team, Gabe Cupps has to shoot the ball when he's open. But so far, we're seeing these guards. Carlisle, Rice was big in the game, and he has to keep doing what he's doing. I don't want to see another game them play, and I get mixed up on this name, if it's UNC Asheville or UNC Greensboro all the time. But yeah, UNC Greensboro, I want to see Miles Rice still come out and be aggressive and score for the entire team. What I really want to see is if Rice and Carlisle can both score like around 10 to 12 points a game between the two of them, that would be huge. And I know Rice is capable of scoring more than that. We need Galloway and Goody both to score 10 points. I think this team could be a team where we have like 6 guys that score in double figures, which those type of teams are really hard to key in on one guy or the other. It's practically like whack-a-mole for coaches, because it's like, stop this guy, they go to this guy. Stop this guy, they'll go to this guy for a couple plays. Those, to me, are the college basketball teams that are really hard to play against, really hard to defend, really hard to just like game plan for, because no one player is really like doing more than the others. Now, Mbako, I mean, he's definitely shown himself to be the most prolific scorer on this team. He's able to shoot from the outside. You know, we'll see as he goes up against better competition, which it's going to be some time before this Indiana team plays against better competition. But we only have like 10 days until Wednesday. So today's Tuesday. A week from tomorrow at noon, they will play Louisville. So 8 days. I would challenge, like, Ballo has to be in better shape. If he's not doing like wind sprints at 4 a.m., they have 3 games in 3 days, if you don't know. The first game on Wednesday against Louisville at noon is a must-win game to stay in the winner's bracket, because then it splits into a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket, and you're not going to want to be in the loser's bracket, because you would go and probably play like Providence or Oklahoma or something like that. You want to win that first game, and then you have the chance to play Gonzaga, I believe it is, in the second round, and then Arizona if you win that game. So you definitely want to have that marquee matchup against Gonzaga, or else you're going to really kind of screw the pooch a little bit and like not have any real tester games the entire offseason. So that is critical coming up as well. That is another reason why this Asheville game is the last warm-up before the big tournament, and then they'll have like 6 days off, so they'll have some more time to prepare for Louisville. That being said, it is just critical that they don't come out and play like they did in the first half against Eastern Illinois. That's forgotten. You know what? I overreacted to that, but it had to be said. It had to be said. Whenever they're going to slack off or play hard, not play hard, or do some of those things, like, I'm going to talk about it on this show. It's just the bottom line. Like, it's just what I'm going to do. Mike Woodson, he's got his press conference this afternoon, so I will make a video tomorrow, and we'll talk about what he says about UNC Asheville and what he thought more. Some of his comments were kind of baffling after the South Carolina game. I don't want to, like, rip on him here, but it almost sounded like he thought, well, we only win the game because we like made a couple of threes and we really didn't play good in some other aspects that he was talking about. I mean, that's good and bad. I want to see the motivation from the coach that they're always going to get better, but there were some of the things that he was saying about the game that, I don't know, where they were just kind of baffling or dumbfounding to me when I was listening to it. So we're just going to have to see what he says this afternoon about this next game. And then with the game coming up in the Bahamas against Louisville, that is going to be huge. But one thing I also wanted to touch on was Anthony Richardson. He finally played a great game for himself, and they ran the ball, the Colts did. It was great to see him finally have some success. I think the 2 weeks off really helped him, and it was great to see because this whole year, I think they've been trying to make this guy into a pocket passer, and it's just not working out for him. And you put the ball in his hands and let him run the ball, let him do the things that he's confident in, and it just seemed to make more sense. It looked better, and I know it was against a desperate Jets team, which, I'm sorry, Ralph. I'm sorry, all you guys in Hoboken, New Jersey, but, like, how do you root for the Jets? I'm sorry, how do you root for the Jets every year? They are so hot garbage. I mean, they've not had anything to root for a long time. If you want to count Mark Sanchez, then you can count Mark Sanchez. But I just thought it was great of the Colts. It was great to see them do that, and we will be talking about the Hoosiers basketball team more tomorrow and what Mike Woodson says in the press conference this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today. And until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.